I absolutely love the Wellpro PPK20. It is an absolute beast. Best of all, it's AK 9mm SMG style. Oh, I love it. But what if you just wanted to add more ammo to your mags? Well, if you're an HPA nut that doesn't mind an umbilical cord hanging off the bottom of your replica, TAP Airsoft went ahead and sent me to review for you guys the AEG mag tap adapter for AEG MP5 mags. Now the three of these are going to look relatively similar. The AEG MP5 mag is about the same style 9mm look as the PPK20 mag. However, this adapter will allow us to adapt to the PPK20 in almost the same exact design as, well, the standard mag. The cool part about TAP's adapters that I like is they're 3D printed, which just goes to show all of the crazy capabilities that there are for printing in Airsoft and making upgrades as a whole. With these guys, you are going to find that they have the regular gas outlet valve on the rear. Obviously, they have to mimic the stock design. Your feed lips are going to be super similar, as well as your gas router. And then things start to get different as we get towards the bottom. You're going to have your new adapted mag release, because once this guy is inserted into the PPK20, you're not going to be removing it because you'll be inserting and uninserting the AEG mags. What's nice about this is obviously it's cheaper, and it also increases your ammunition capacity and your gas efficiency and your consistency, because HPA, the tank is larger reservoir means that your consistency is going to be better. Also, you don't have to pay for green gas. Air is like $5 to fill up, or you just get yourself a pump and you never have to pay again. You can pump before you go to a game or pump it in between games, which is really cool. The way that this works, again, like I said, there is going to be a separate feed tube that you're going to load your rounds into. It'll load the rounds as soon as you index your AEG mag. When you index the AEG mag, when it spits those rounds up, let's say your AEG mag has 200 rounds in it, for example, right? This is a high cap. I recommend using a mid cap. It's just better for feeding, because obviously as the spring tension starts to get weaker, you're going to want a mid cap, because that keeps a consistent spring tension and it'll work better. I just don't have one right now, so we're going to test it out with this guy, see if that works just fine. The tap adapters are kind of interesting. They have almost like a BB replacement system, like a feed ramp per se, on the inside of the mag that's going to make up the space between the AEG mag at the bottom and the nozzle. How that works is, let's say your AEG mag holds like 200 rounds or so, and this guy, the space in here holds like maybe 15. It's going to displace the 15. You're going to have 185 rounds. And then when you take this mag out, put it back in, those 15 are going to stay in there, and then the next mag will allow you to feed 200 rounds. There is a little stop on empty, so that BBs don't come flying out at you when you unindex the mag. And it's also got a little spring tensioner too that'll make it a little easier for you to insert the mag. Now, just a look at it. The mag is super sturdy. There's no movement front to back. There's the most slight movement side to side. And the button obviously is spring tension too. It's nice and large, so it's nice and easy to access. Now, although this mag is a high cap, so it's got that windy wheel, I highly recommend running mid caps when you're running your HPA adapters from TAP Airsoft, just because the spring tension gets weaker as we start to get lower on rounds before we rewind it, so it could cause feeding issues. Mid caps don't have that problem, high quality ones, because they always feed up to the top really well. This is just all I have, so we're gonna hope it works. Now you will see, like I said, that BB replacement system. As soon as we index the mag, a ton of BBs should roll right up to the top of the feed ramp and right into the feed lips. So we're just gonna go ahead and pop that in. And it kind of just fully released the spinner. That's the downside of the high caps. That's not supposed to happen. That's my mag's fault. We're just gonna have to rewind it. I guess the release in BB pressure just caused the spring to completely unwind itself. So we're just gonna rewind that really quick. A couple safety precautions you're going to want to keep in mind when using these adapters. TAP just recommends that first of all you run these between 90 and 120 psi, no higher, no less. So we're going to go ahead and throw our line in. And we're just going to open up our system and then make sure we're feeding at 120 psi, which we are. One other thing that TAP recommends that we do is to rack the charging handle and set the hammer first before indexing the mag, just because it could burst a really high pressure amount of air through it at first, maybe accidentally fire a round or even bust your system, so be super careful. Should be able to insert this no problem. And that's in. I will say at first impressions, it's extremely wobbly. I don't know if you could see that. Forward and backwards and side to side, it's all over the place. I hope that doesn't cause any problems with feeding, but we're just gonna go ahead. We are locked in place. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. Okay, let's fire off our first shots. In 3, 2, 1. We stopped feeding. Oh geez. Oh no. I don't know if you could see that in there, but we've absolutely obliterated some BBs. I'm just gonna stop and try and get a correct mag ordered before I keep going, because I don't want to destroy the nozzle. Transfer out to about 2 weeks later now, and we've finally gotten a proper SEMA midcap MP5 mag delivered. Ugh. Oh wow, it came loaded with rounds. All right, we're in. We should be ready to go. Line is already hooked up. Let's see if it works this time and doesn't obliterate the BBs. 3, 2, 1. That's crazy. I don't even know if you could see that, but it looks like the BBs are almost still getting like impacted somehow. I'm gonna carefully try and fire off a few more rounds. Why is it not? Okay, hold on. Try again. It's still not feeding properly. I'm not exactly sure why. What if we hold the mag up? All right, if I hold the mag in place, I'm not like pushing it up, I'm pushing it back. It seems to be fine. Try full auto. Oh my God, the PPK20 just feels so good in the hands. But then if I let go of the mag, it's almost like it just doesn't sit in place correctly. I'll try and push it back again. You see the bolt just drop forward like it's free again? That's not something that you love to see. Even after purchasing a new mag, that still seems to be a problem. And it just seems like something's not sitting correctly. I don't know the exact tolerances, but when I push the mag backwards a little bit, like I push from here backwards, it seems to feed flawlessly. And the moment I let it go, it keeps stopping. Like maybe the BB's just not being pulled out and the nozzle is connecting somewhere on here. I can't see any like, maybe a little bit in the back. I don't know if you could see that. Let's zoom in. There's a little scuffing back here. And then you see on the BB, every time I do that, the BB gets like crunched by whether it be the nozzle or something there. I'm just not sure. Obviously, I mean, oh, look at that one. You see that one? Let's see if we can get that BB out. That's really not good. Yeah, it's just crunching the BBs if I don't hold the adapter in place. And I'm sure that's not good for the nozzle. I'm sure that would cause problems long term. Maybe they have to adjust tolerances. Maybe they fixed it already. I'm not 100% sure. I've had this adapter for a little while. They've sent it to me, and I just haven't gotten to it. I'm going to reach out to TAP after I post this, obviously see what they say. They've been so good by like every time that I've had any issues. I only had an issue one more time, and it was with the PP2K. And they wound up fixing that and getting it to work correctly for me, so that was wonderful. Hopefully, maybe there will be a second rendition of this or some updates, or maybe they can share some insight. I'll send it back to them, and they can measure this one out, and I don't know. But, yeah, I'm sorry, TAP. It's not always going to work out. It can't be easy to make these. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm sorry, I don't want to break it. I'll get to the next adventure. Peace.